Okay, so policy is one of the most powerful yet supremely distant levers that you can use to affect change, right? So when I worked in policy, I was just fresh out of undergrad, and some of the policies I designed in 2008 are coming into effect today, right? So that's the kind of cycle time of government policy, right? If we need to just go and do our own thing, right? So government will get there, and the role of government is tremendously important. But we need the policy needs to start at a much more fundamental level. So you start with education, and then this role in education evolves from sort of K to 12 to redesigning curriculums to bring in innovation and entrepreneurship at an early stage. So early childhood education is immensely important. And the earlier, in policy in general, the earlier you design an intervention, the deeper the impact over an extended period of time, right? So you want to affect change through interventions as early as possible. So a great place to start could possibly be early childhood education, right? When it comes to later stage, so you want, for example, to incentivize venture capitalists to invest more in women, right? So these things are usually short-lived and not sustainable, right? Because it needs to be driven by the data. And even though the data's there, right, nobody's listening to it, which is really bizarre, right? But the data's there, right? Like, and it applies to female fund managers, female CEOs, female operators, and governance, right? So if I find a female-led fund manager and a female founder, and then I have good governance, if all else is equal, I get 40% higher returns. Just math, just straight up math, right? So a big part of this is to, like you said earlier, is to continue to drive that narrative over and over again. And that's actually one of the biggest lessons I learned in a career in policy. If you keep saying the exact same thing again and again and again and again and again and people will eventually listen, right? But you just have to keep repeating the same narrative and the same messaging over and over again. People will eventually listen. And that's how you actually affect major change at the policy level.